Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new Idle Huntress video. The first half is going to be the new update with the dragons, and the second half will cover Plato and her summoning and just like her kit and overall. So without further ado, let's get right into the new update. So here, just going over all the lots and lots of ways that the game wants you to give them money, and we have all these top-ups. If you want to get very high in assembly, I suggest you spread out your money spending. Do not spend on Plato. We'll get onto that. But if you want to spend, you buy the passes that are out, as well as you can just front load on saving up your tickets in the future. But also we have the special packs that come out occasionally. You know, they're still pretty garbage in terms of what they're giving you, especially now with the passes that are out. However, the $5 and I believe the $15 still give you more gems, or still give you more tickets than what are actually giving you. So like the 5 can give you 10 tickets and the 15 can give you 20 tickets, right? And you're getting the gems on top of it. However, because the passes are so much better, I highly suggest you spend those first and then, you know, go to the special packages if you still want to spend for the Hero Assembly event to get those challenge tickets, because that's how you're going to get all those new all those tokens, right? So they did update VIP and the rewards you get, so you're going to get sent mail your backlog of all the Omnia shards and the different chest materials you can get. But definitely based on your VIP, you know, you're going to get daily rewards on the left there, and you're just going to tap it and claim it every day. And so that's free EE material as well as like dragon level up material. So that's pretty nice. But the Omni shards for sure are very nice. None of the other packages have been updated yet, nor are there dragon packages just yet. But in the future, there's going to be some like red tier, the third tier dragon packages, or like it'll be spend events for players to get, but everything else still the same. So just really, they really want you to spend, especially with this Thor event. It's insane. You know, all the events that are happening now, besides that like discount shop that was during the first anniversary, you know, these events, Hero Assembly in itself just gives you so much more reward than the actual anniversary event did. So that was very disappointed, but at least we're back into the grind, and we have all these different spend events that, you know, spend your money wisely, and just, you know, keep in mind of what you're playing for, right? At the end of the day, these servers could be turned off tomorrow and, you know, you've lost all your money. So don't spend anything that you wouldn't be okay with just throwing away tomorrow, right? But here we go, same things, Thor events, you know, a lot of just EE upgrade material, as well as just a handful of like the gear material. And, you know, the more you roll, the more chances you're going to get of getting that material. But it is very, very spend heavy. Do not spend unless you are an oil baron or work in the coding industry, because it is not worth the money. Only for the top whales who really want to get their equipment like fully starred and then fully geared out. So they've also added this new Octavius daily top-up thing. So if you spend money at all, then you get the next day's worth of Octavius stuff. But I mean, this is only useful if you're starting out, and it sucks that thing is going to take up your screen every day until you know, spend at least 3 days in a row, or no, 3 days like in total. So for most people, that'll be gone if you're spending, but if not, that'll stay there forever. And so the big thing with the Omni shards nowadays, because the roll rates for all the Huntresses are now quote-unquote normal, I heavily suggest as soon as you hit 600 rolls on a Huntress, you do not roll anymore. Because you can go up to high 600s, even the 700s. So by the time you get to your 600th roll, you should only need one more version of her, or 100 shards, you name it, right? But definitely you should have, you know, the 15, because you're going to get the last pity on the 16th, and you'll use the Omni shard to get the last one, because you're no longer getting any bonuses or rewards for rolling past 600, so, you know, don't do it. Here for the Hero Assembly rewards, we still got the same thing as we got last time. However, they've been refreshed, and so great way to get free Hercules shards. I know her banner just came back out. Do not roll on it at all. You know, with Hero Assembly, it's going to keep coming back. I don't know how often, but it'll keep coming back. And, you know, you just get your free Hercules shards from there, and you don't have to spend any money on her, and so that's a great way of getting a nice SSR Plus Season 2 Huntress girl. So here I've been showing the new dragons that have come out. As you can see on the bottom right there, the different colors signify the different rarity of that dragon. So that red one right there are for the light and dark, but there are red variants for all of them. However, the earliest variant for a light dark dragon is the red, and these red variants are the third and best variant. However, they have the best stats that they can be given, the most amount of levels they can be given, but no one is going to touch them unless you spend like a madman. So don't expect to get them for most people. In the shops, this is where we're going to get these new dragon materials. So in your daily shop, you're going to have, these little rainbow tiers, and then those golden tiers, and then that little scroll looking things. Though none of that was the actual name of the thing, but I can't read it from where I'm speaking. But the scrolls are going to be used to level up the dragons, and you're just going to need a ton of those, and luckily the shop does offer a ton of those. But to get the actual dragons, you are going to have to refresh your Super Arena shop to actually be able to see them. However, I highly suggest you do not waste your 1,000 gems. Just wait next week, because Guild War, no one else is fighting it for another couple days. But once you do refresh the shop, you'll see those guys. If and only if you've passed, I think, 2460 on the campaign, the 24th mission area, and then past it. So essentially, once you've hit area 25 is when those guys are going to pop up in your store. And the further you are in the story, the higher level you're going to see that gold level, the second level of dragon. But besides that, every day in your shops, you're going to refresh, you're going to get the new materials to level up your dragons. But overall, what the dragons are doing is giving stats to the same element of Huntress on those teams. Now, you can't pick what dragon gets on that team. I think it just picks whatever is gonna give the best amount of stats in that fight, and that's fair. Let it be automatic, because I don't know what necessarily is going to be better, because there's not direct comparison charts, but the game's already got it optimized to find that out for you. So upgrade the dragon you really want to go in. I think is the best way to manually set that. But you can only have one dragon go into a fight per party. So if you're doing story and there's 2 parties, that's 2 different dragons. You can only bring one dragon at a time. So you'll see here the green dragon got set to that, because we have Take and we have Ashikaga right there, just doing their thing. And because the green dragon was pretty leveled up, it was chosen and it was slotted in for the fight. But as you can see, nothing was there for me to be able to choose that. So the game's just going to take care of it itself. But like I've been saying, it's just going to be a slow grind. Farm your shop. Make sure you're participating in the daily stuff, because that currency is going to be used to buy your dragon stuff, and it's just going to be a lot of farming and just waiting, just like every other material, EE, you name it, right? Level up stuff. So just another thing to add on to the material grind, right? So hope that explains that, and we'll move on to Plato. Plato is the newest of the Season 2 Huntresses, and will get a UR form in the future. She is a water mage, and we'll get right into her kit. For her first skill, we have Utopia, which is going to reduce the attack for all enemies by 5, 10, 20% for 3 turns, and this effect cannot be dispelled or nullified. So just very easily, just reducing DPS for the enemy. Nothing too special here, but it's actually, I don't know. It's kind of lame, because most people are one-shotting anyways, so, take it for what it is. Moving on. We have her ultra skill, Idealism. So it deals 100% of magic damage to all enemies, and for each rain mark that is possessed, deals an additional 30% of magic damage to all enemies. Now at level 2, this goes to 300%, level 3, 600%, and then a UR farm, you're going to get an additional 80% on the rain marks, but we don't have to deal with that for now. Next, we have her first passive, Life Flipped. At the start of each turn, reduce recovery amount of all enemies to 80%, then 60%, then 40%, and then a UR form to 20% for 1 turn. Now, this effect cannot be dispelled, and then this also additionally deals 100, 200, 300, and then a later UR form 600% magic damage to the enemy with the highest attack. So this is a pretty good skill in the fact that her, she's targeting the healing of all the enemies. So if you have if you're facing an enemy that deals a lot of healing, which is kind of weird because it's not going to be too many. This is only going to be in the cases where you see a very, tank heavy Copernicus team or another, dodgy healing team, but it's not too special. But what is cool is the focusing the highest attacked unit. So this is probably going to be somebody Zhao, Thor, you name it, right? But it goes into the fact she's dealing a lot of damage, but these units have a ton of health, so it kind of levels out. It is cool, but it could be better. There are other Huntresses that make use of this. Now, next is her stat passive, Duties of Elders. This increases her HP by 15, 20, and 25, and then crit by 3, 4, and 5%. Moving on, we have her exclusive equipment. Once again, same name. Might be just a typo with the game. They did forget her, painting scroll thing in the shrine, so that's funny. But it is Duties of Elders once again. And before activating any skill, ultra skill or normal attack, Plato increases her stats according to the number of rain marks possessed. For each rain mark, she then increases her final damage by 0.5, 1, and 1.8%, and this effect has no stacking limit and lasts until Plato dies. So she can keep stacking her final damage, which is great, if you're going to get up to 20 rain marks a turn. If you have a full rain mark team, Niwa, Daji, Shibata, you're getting a ton of rain marks on the field. But, also matches are done in less than 3 rounds. So you're only going to get, maybe 60% final damage, which is pretty good. Given she's alive, your rain stacking team is alive. There's just a lot of, ifs to this. So you just got to make the most of it, right? Next, we have her UR skill, Satisfaction. So on every even turn, Plato has a 50% chance, which is actually 25% chance on the global version, of activating her first skill, Utopia, once, and each activation grants a buff to Plato that nullifies any control effects, and then also gives 5 rain marks. So she is giving rain marks to the team, given you get her 6-star, and only on even number of turns. So it's okay. It could be worse. She could be giving the team nothing, but still it is not game breaking or to any means. And next we have her runes and badges. For badges, the wiki recommends we go speed and tenacity and then health, but you get the speed, so you make sure you get that attack debuff first thing first, so that the enemy is dealing less damage to you, no brainer. But then also, I think we go health, because we just want her to stay alive longer, just so she's getting that, extra rain mark, stacking her final damage, because then we don't have to worry about giving her a damage badge, and she's just dealing lots of damage the longer she's alive, essentially. But that, case in point, she has to stay alive. For runes, we're going to give her 4 red. We're just going to give her that crit damage, and we're going to give her attack, and just keep her alive. We're going to get agility on that top right, just to make her fast once again. So she is casting. She does have the fastest base speed by essentially 100. She is the fastest unit in the game for some reason. I guess they really wanted her to get her passives off, like her first skill off, just first thing first, because that is pretty important. But I just feel like they gave this extra 100 speed to the wrong person. It could have been given to literally anybody else, and it would have been more applicable. Next, we're moving on to my overall thoughts and the community Discord's opinion. So, from the community Discord, we have the pros is that, once again, to reiterate, she is the fastest unit in the game in terms of base speed, especially when she gets her 6-star. We have an additional 100. The 20%, attack down to the enemy, this is okay. It's pretty cool, but, 20% is a lot. But given the enemy, especially Zhao, is doing so much damage, 20% doesn't matter. Her ult, once again, deals a lot of extra damage, especially with more of the rain marks you have. But it's not I don't know. I feel like there's just so many other girls to get besides this. So, the attacking the enemy with the highest attack is pretty good. It's pretty good, but once again, I just don't like it. The immunity control, the CC immunity is really nice. But, you know, because she has that highest speed, I really see her being baited by a lot of dodgies. If not, you can get her to just bait dodgy. I would be totally, you know, on board with that if you wanted to dodgy bait. Currently, I just use my poor Junka to get dodgy baited. So, you know, make it a useless Huntress that she's taking instead of an important one. I can see that being used, right? So cons, you've pretty much heard me say all the cons as I'm going through the pros. You know, you have to put her on a dodgy team just because that 5 rain marks every other turn isn't enough for her kit to be useful whatsoever. So definitely you're going to want to put her with at least dodgy, and then Shibata and Niwa if you have them as well. But definitely, I don't know. Yeah, you've pretty much gathered what I'm trying to say is this is a really bad character. There obviously there are worse SSR girls, like from the base game, but definitely she, you know, Plato is not one you need to spend on. But yeah, so once again, overall, you need to skip her. As the verdict, skip her. Grab one copy of her, you know, go to 80, get her to 1 star, you name it. If you're a collector like me, you grab her and you move on and you never touch her again, because I just never ever see her having space on any team, given we only have 3 teams on, you know, most PvP events, if not just one team, and she is not on any of them. So sad to see just like a really cool character, and I think a lot of people would like her, you know why, but she is just wasted, which in my view is a good thing, because that's one less Huntress that people have to spend money on. So, you know, that's on the devs for making a bad character and us not having to spend money on it. So I guess we can take that as a win, guys. But yeah, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of late, but it is what it is. I'm on break, and I wanted to take my time with, you know, chilling out for once, for a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.